Hello everyone, welcome to the new video on the ego authority. You have this authority if your ego center is defined and your emotional solar plexus, your sacral center and your splenic center are open or undefined. What is the ego center? The ego center is one of our 4 motor centers. We have already discussed the emotional solar plexus, which has the emotional energy, the emotional power, the motor to do something out of emotions. And we already talked about the sacral center, which has the sacral life force, energy, joy, sexual motor to do and create things. Then we have the root center, which is the physical pressure to do things. And last but not least, we have the ego center. And in the ego center, we have 3 main topics located that push us to do something, to commit something. In that sense is more precise actually. So we have self-worth, we have willpower, and we have the materialistic urge to have, to possess. What is this all about? It's not that broad and general like the solar plexus or the sacral or even the root center, because there the motor to do things is more broad. It's not that specific, so to say. But in the ego center, as there is our self-worth, our willpower, it is really about what do I want? What do I want for my life? What am I worthy of? What equals my worth? Who is worth spending time with? What project, what thing in life is worth that I put my attention onto it? The ego center is highly conditioned because most people have the center open or undefined. That means most people have an inconsistent self-worth. They don't know their precise what they want. And people who live their defined ego center confidently are often shamed as selfish because it's a societal moral to be altruistic. And even though this might have some spiritual depth, the altruism, the we are all one, you should only treat other people the way you want to be treated. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, always putting other people first, always denying what you want for yourself is actually creating a lot of chaos in the world, because people are not standing up for themselves and people are putting themselves down before life or other people have the chance to put them down. You see that in the depression. We have, of course, in some areas of the world, of course, we have real oppression, but in the modern, civilized, Western kind of hemisphere, most people that are stuck because of themselves, because they suppress their needs, they suppress themselves, they don't act as if they are worthy, and that creates a lot of problems. How should you with a ego authority make decisions? It's pretty easy. Do what you want. Of course, as your 3 centers that could possibly be your authority, the emotional solar plexus, the sacral, and the splenic center are open or undefined, you are receptive to other people's sacral energies, to other people's emotions, to other people's even health issues. But if you observe yourself and if you take this seriously, you can detect the smell, the taste, the energy that your ego center has. You can detect if you want that because your mother shamed you and emotionally manipulated in thinking that you want something, or you just of yourself. You just want that. You have to try it out a little bit and experiment, and also maybe do some trauma work, deconditioning, looking at your childhood to separate what was put onto you, and to grasp the taste of your will. I'm currently editing the authority videos, and I completely forgot to tell you why I'm doing all of that, because I am creating a program called Clouded, and this program is a multimedia program where I put all my love in, and it's about breaking free from your mind. And I thought it would be a fun idea to market that program by giving you the second step of the progress already. So the first step is that you decondition your mind and you learn about your thinking patterns and how to escape your monkey mind. And the second step would be that you learn to listen to your authority. I'm currently creating it, so if it's there, you can purchase it. I will put a link into the comments, but just that you know, this will be coming soon. And then what's also very important, you need to decondition your ego center, which means if you have any limiting beliefs about being selfish is bad, you always should take care of others, or being the good girl or the good boy, because you need to understand, we as humans, we are designed to live in a collective, and your desires, what you want, are put into your ego center because in the end they will serve everyone. So people might find it triggering that you are, for example, not adjusting to everyone else's path, everyone else's pace, but you're doing your thing, you're resting when you need to rest, you're taking action when you feel like you want to do it. People are triggered because they themselves neglect themselves, and you are reminding them that they are not looking after themselves. So you can be a role model for others to also look for their needs. See it like that. There are 3 traps with this authority that I want to warn you about, so that it's easier for you to navigate. So trap number 1 would be you make your decisions based on other people's expectations. This would be the result of what I've mentioned before, when you didn't do the deconditioning process, when you are just very aware, because maybe you faced some backlash in the past, what other people expect of you. And you're doing that because you're very aware of that expectation. And it's hard to trust yourself, to trust your desires and go alone for what you feel is right for you. But I highly encourage you to test it out. What is worse? The feeling of, okay, I'm doing it for myself and maybe other people hating on that, or always adjusting to other people's expectations and having a miserable life. It's your decision in the end. Then that's very interesting when you are committing your energy into something and then you don't feel like doing that anymore, but then you have the thought of, but I should be able to do this. I just should be able, because maybe you committed yourself, or you have shame around performance pressure. So you don't have a defined solar plexus, you don't have a defined sacral center. That means you don't have that constant, and also you cannot have a defined root center, which means the ego center is your most potent source of energy, and that's why you have that, but at the same time the others are also very powerful. So you maybe see other people that have all the power to push through things maybe they don't like, and you think to yourself, why am I not able to do this? I should be able to do this. No, you should not. You are designed to put energy very precisely into the things, the people, projects that you are willing to commit to, that are worth your attention, your energy, because you have somehow limited access to your energy, or better said, your energy is wasted and cannot unfold in the most potent and best way if you're not putting the energy in the right things. So thinking I should be able to do this is bullshit. You should not. Things that are meant to be done by you are not hard to push through, are easy to commit and follow through with that commitment. The third trap is when you're doing things to feel worthy. So the ego center is about self-worth. Why would you then do things to feel worthy? Yeah, that's the conditioning. So if you are doing things in order to allow yourself the self-worth that is inherently in you to have it, because you've seen other people that don't have it, so you feel I need to do things so I'm allowed to feel that worthy that I already feel. No, we want to feel worthy, acknowledge our worthiness, and out of that worthiness you perform. You decide whether to do this project or not, and then act on that. Why you're doing things. You need to ask yourself, is this worth my time and energy? Is this worth me? And when you have a calm, clear yes, I want to do this. If there is no one in this world, no other people, just me, would I still want to do this? If there would be no money involved except your desire is to gather a lot of money. That's an important point. I come to that point in a minute. Would you still do it? Do you want it? So I said in the beginning that the center is also about materialistic gathering. So this is really a center where it's about what do I have? What do I possess? And also in a very materialistic way. And we are collectively so confused with that energy, because on the one hand we have this super billionaires that engineer our whole world and think they can play God just because they have so much money, almost like the super rich in Altered Carbon. I highly recommend that series, that's on Netflix. And on the other hand, we have the spiritual people, the super spiritual or leftist, communist people that are the woke people that are almost like, oh, money is so bad, just share everything and everything should be rented. By the way, the idea that everything should be rented is forced on us, normal human beings, by the super rich that own everything. So it's important. Healthy materialism comes back. A family, a community needs material resources, and as independent as a community, a country, a family is, the more free it is. That is really true. We should not focus everything in our life around money, but at the same time neglecting it at all makes us to slaves, literal slaves. So enough politics talk at that point. But I think you get it. If you have this defined ego authority, you really will know better than me how important material resources are, and you should trust yourself with that and build those resources and connect yourself with your ability to create wealth, for example, for your family, for your community. So this was this video. I hope you really liked and enjoyed it. Please, you know what we all love, subscribe and like. And I saw recently a lot of new followers came in. I'm so grateful for you. Write a comment if you like, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.